Hey guys, welcome back. DripCoach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. Today, we're diving into an update on these two videos I just watched from Altcoin Daily about the Fed meeting and Raoul Pal and Arthur talking about what could happen in this cycle and maybe a bubble and this black swan event that could signal the end of the cycle. So smash that like button and we'll jump right into it. All right, so in this first video, we got, or I'm not going to play both of them, but I encourage you guys to go out and watch Altcoin Daily and, of course, Savvy Finance. They do a good job of like bringing all this stuff as it comes out, and I'm just summarizing it for you because you may not feel like going to watch it. So in this one from Altcoin Daily, he's basically talking about that in the last 30 days, nearly 100,000 Bitcoins have been removed from exchanges, with major withdrawals coming from Kraken and Coinbase, and the ETFs now hold over 1 million Bitcoin, with BlackRock leading the charge, and institutions are stockpiling, signaling a major shift in the market dynamics. So, and here they're also talking about the upcoming Federal Reserve meeting that could be game changer for the early year expectations for rate cuts, and recent odds have shifted from what they thought it would be to around a 50% chance of cut in September, and even higher likelihood towards the end of the year. The basic thesis in here is that there will be multiple rate cuts throughout the end of the year, leading up into December and of course November, the elections. And then also they mentioned some stuff from CIO Swan Bitcoin, and here you got Anthony Scaramucci believing rate cuts are inevitable, and Scaramucci believes and predicts a 100K Bitcoin price as the Fed starts slashing rates. So we know right now, BTC has been chopping sideways in this 60 to 70 range. It kept breaking 70. This is interesting when they put all these in here. That's pretty cool. Way to go, CoinMarketCap. That's awesome additional information. So anyway, this is new, I think. I didn't see this yesterday. But anyway, what I was trying to talk about before I got distracted is that we've been trading sideways pretty much since the ETFs launched. And we've had these breaking 70 areas, but nothing in regards to getting past like 75K or 80 or anything like that. So the longer it consolidates in a range, the bigger the breakout is potentially to be, and with it looking more and more to the upside. Now, in this clip, we got kind of a black swan event that we're gonna listen to from Raoul and Arthur, talking about what would signal the end of the cycle. And it would be very much akin to what happened in the last cycle when FTX blew up. And this is a risk that I don't think a lot of people are familiar with, but this is definitely where the hackers and scammers will be focusing a lot of attention, and something to be aware of. Now, it's not saying it's going to happen like now, but just listen to how the
brain power you want.
Kind of tie this together so that you can be aware of it as well, and then not be surprised and shocked when it does indeed happen.
Biggest risk of the last cycle was a centralized counterparty getting into credit, right? And so usually the issues in crypto are we love decentralization, but then we want to make money, so we go do centralized stuff, and we bid up the centralized stuff until they blow up, invariably blow up, because their business models are incompatible with decentralized bare assets, right? And this has happened over and over and over again. So how do I think this could play out in this particular cycle? What are the centralized entities that we trust and are basically driving this bull market? ETF fund managers. What do they all do? Custody their assets at probably just Coinbase, maybe a few banks if one of these rules in the US passes. So what are we going to do? We're going to accumulate, hundreds of billions, maybe even trillions of dollars worth of crypto, and probably, less than 20 firms who are all going to custody with probably less than 5 institutions. Now, I don't know if any of you have worked at a bank, but the people who make the least money have the most important jobs at the bank. That's the people who are in the back office dealing with FX reconciliation, or making sure your stock clears, or all the different things. And so if you think about at a custodian of crypto in a TradFi bank, because now they want to get into doing custody because they see Coinbase making all this money from BlackRock and all these guys, and the regulations force you to custody with a third party. So why don't they force you to custody with BNY Mellon, or one of the standard people? So So now you have all this crypto in these firms where the person who is probably the easiest to get hacked probably makes like $50,000, $60,000 a year, who's completely overworked.
Gonna chime in there because this is stuff that I actually did in the military on the infrastructure side and stuff like that. And social engineering and hacks and all this stuff like that is definitely very, very common. And you guys see it all the time, especially in crypto. So right now we see, all these scams, and I showed you one happened here in Cambodia. You get tons of people reaching out to telegrams. Like this is in the DeFi, grimy streets of crypto, but account hacks from just passwords and usernames, or even the database for the person like he's talking about that has access to this, them getting hacked because they don't have the actual understanding or even care to institute enough security in their account, that it makes it easier for nefarious actors to actually get access to that. I can't tell you the number of times when I was working in IT in the military that we would go and reset a password for a commander, a general, somebody like that, somebody high up, right? And they would literally have their password underneath their keyboard or taped to, the screen. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, like, are you serious? Now, eventually that got removed when we had CAC cards and you had to even put your ID card in the reader and a pin and all that. But the whole point was that, yeah, not everybody takes password security and access to their accounts seriously. And some of those people can indeed be in charge of your assets. So like he's talking about all these new players coming into the space, they are not familiar with this self-custody asset. And now they're self-custodying your assets. And it's not the same as a bank getting hacked because they're used to those games. They don't understand this side of crypto and they don't have the skin in the game, so to speak, and the experience to do so.
Has no respect. And they don't talk about internet security. It's not, if I'm going to hack crypto, I'm going after one of these banks who internet security is just like an afterthought. They have no clue what they're doing because never have they had a custody an asset where if they lose it, they don't get to call up the treasury or the Fed and get another bailout. You can't get bailed out of crypto because there's nowhere. So no one to call to create the Bitcoin out of thin air or the Ether out of thin air, whatever it is that you on your balance sheet. So if I had to think about a risk, and this is sort of, a 2 to 3 year risk, given how I'm seeing things change in terms of who is allowed to do what and what's driving the market, I would say that a major crypto custodian gets hacked and they lose, $50, $100 billion. That's how I see the cycle ending.
So that's what he's saying would mark the end of the cycle. And we could definitely see that. So like when FTX blew up and Terra Luna collapsed and Gemini and all these other kind of issues happened, it wasn't because of a hack, so to speak. That has only been happening on the smart contract sides, on bridges and stuff like that. But now that you got these big players coming in, they will be susceptible to this. And it's not the database, so to speak, directly, which we've seen tons of data breaches on like Facebook, Microsoft, hell, even the credit bureaus, Social Security, driver's license. Like we've seen this hack multiple times because like he just said, to these people, security is an afterthought. So just keep that in mind. I know everybody watching this is familiar with DeFi and all that stuff and not your keys, not your crypto, and probably don't have that much on an exchange that you're worried about. But any of these other ones getting in through BlackRock and JP Morgan and Chase and Fidelity and all this stuff, if they're custodying your assets or you're getting in through them, then there's definitely a risk side there that, like he mentioned, hasn't really been talked about or adjusted for because the learning curve isn't even there. So to them, they're probably just thinking it's just ones and zeros on a screen like everything else. But this is a completely different beast when you're talking self-custody. So that, in his opinion, would signal the end of the bull run and start the next cycle like bear market, which would make sense with the billions that could be at stake if that's there. And not to mention the media shitstorm that would come from that, because they would immediately spin it that crypto is, not safe and blah, 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 even though it would be specifically a result of irresponsibility of asset management, asset control of the actual institutions, exactly the way it's been when the bank bailouts and stuff have come in the past. So I just thought that was interesting because I haven't heard anybody talking about that. So I want to share that with you guys. Get your thoughts on that below as well. And what do you think? Do you have any skin in the game regarding the Fed rate cuts coming later on this quarter, next quarter, by the end of the year, I guess? And what does that do for your Bitcoin price prediction? And what do you think about, this vulnerability that they're discussing here? All right, let me know in the comments below. Smash that HBO special, help brother out. Like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.